Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another LMP interview. It's me, as always, Skittle, and today we have our special guest, Dante. Dante, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
All right, we like to hear a calm day. Um, a new season is upon us, But how are you feeling about that? How's it look?
I am feeling like I am going in with a bit more knowledge than the first time. I understand better how things work,
Hmm.
and I understand the players a bit better, I think.
Okay, that's good. We like to have a better, a better understanding, more
Hmm.
knowledge. Can never go wrong with more knowledge.
Hmm.
But speaking of last season, let's spin it back to last season. Let's talk about it. Last season was a very interesting season and a pretty good one for you. You started off with a loss, unfortunately, to William, uh, 2-0. But who really cares about that? You end up playing against Dylan next, and you win that one.
Hmm.
Uh, you tie against Chuck in a 1-1, and then you face Lucas and go 2-0. You win that one. And fortunately for you, you win the group. So if you can remember, because it's been a while, how are you feeling during those games?
Not super confident starting off on a loss,
Hmm.
but it started coming back as I got further into the matches. So, I think I started feeling a bit better about it, you know.
Okay. Yeah, and that does definitely help. A loss is can be demoralizing, but I mean, when you start winning, you're like, it's not that bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, but winning the group lets you get a little. You get to skip a round in the playoffs, so you had some extra time to take a break, and then you end up playing against Miguel. How are you feeling about that one?
Playing against Miguel, the way last time went was I uh I I wasn't able to keep the ball away from him for
Uh
long
huh.
enough. So I'm hoping to correct that mistake by never letting him have the ball ever again, hopefully.
Uh huh. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, but yeah, in that the last game you ended up did losing 3-0, unfortunately ending your aspirations of going to the finals, but didn't mean your playoffs were over as you went to a third place match.
Hmm.
Trying to be the first person to get a podium to break the big three. And what do you know? You face Joel. Joel coming off a pretty tough loss against William in the semifinals where he was expected to win the Copa. So you would think he would come in with, aggression and anger, but we all saw what happened, and you end up winning 3-0 to get that medal. How are you feeling about that?
It didn't feel like a fair win. Joel was, of course, demoralized. He
Hmm.
he probably would have beat me if I'm being honest, but he kind of just gave up at that point.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely did. But a win's a win, and you got that medal. I mean, you look at the stats, and you're there winning. So who really gonna complain?
Right.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, a good season seven for you. You end up being on the podium, first person to be on the podium since season one. Breaking the big three for a little bit. So that was nice to see. Get some new records in there and everything.
Hmm.
But enough of the past. We're here for the present. So new season, new groups, new games. Um, Originally, you would start your game off against Leo, but due to Leo being an adult and allegedly taking too many back shots from Dylan, he is unable to play at this Copa. So his substitute is Jonathan. So that'll be your first game against Jonathan. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, Jonathan, I've known, for quite a while. I feel like I know his play style pretty well. We grew up together, and he would always, beat me in soccer, any soccer matches we had, because I sucked at it. But he's out of practice. He's a bit out of shape from what he's told me. So I think that I do stand somewhat of a chance, though I'm still, I think he could still outskill me with his knowledge.
Okay. All right. It makes it more closer. Pretty much saying he's washed.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Your second game is against Chuck. So a rematch of that tie you had back last season. This time around, are you gonna win this one?
Well, if nothing's changed, then I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think I could probably do better this time.
Okay, we like to hear it, like to hear it. And then your third game is against Lucas. I don't think much needs to be said about that one.
No, no, nothing.
All right. So far, your group stage is looking pretty good. You're confident against Chuck. I mean, Lucas is Lucas. It could go either way against Jonathan, but you end it with Joel. How are you feeling about that one? The rematch of the third place.
Um, I'm a little nervous for that one. That one I am actually a bit worried about because I'm actually going to get to see Joel, not being a quitter, and he's probably gonna, try to go for the win this time. And he'll probably have more energy too since it's earlier in the matches.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, either way, if everything goes well, let's say you win the three games, you end up losing a draw, you're still looking to book yourself into the playoffs. So you might not win the group stage, but you'll be into the playoffs, which means your potential opponents could be between, Miguel, William, or uh Dylan, maybe.
Hmm.
So either of those opponents, who are you feeling like, you know what, I have a chance against?
Dylan. Dylan, of course. I think we're pretty evenly matched in our goofy out play style.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. And a lot of things have to go certain ways to get it out. But I mean, that's football. And that's everything's unpredictable, so you never know what's gonna happen. But
Right.
that's we're looking at these. We'll see what happens. Actually, now we want to know. We want to know more about you for a little bit. Have you been doing anything, any training, any exercise? A lot of the guys been going to the gym recently and stuff like that.
Not exactly, no. I don't think I've changed that much though either. So, I mean, I've gone to the gym maybe like a couple of times now. But nothing like crazy.
Okay. But so overall, we'll see the same Dante, but maybe like a little bit better with more knowledge, more strategic.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, hey, if as long as it's the same and you just improve your mentally and improve on the pitch, then that's better for a lot of other people. Some people just stay the same or get worse. So that's good to know. Yeah, we're excited to see that. So we talked about last season, talked about this season. Got to see a little bit more about yourself. Now, want to know, is there anything else you want to say? Maybe say something to certain people. You want to call anybody certain names? Anything you want to say about the vibes?
Mm, do I want to say anything about anybody? Uh, well, to Joel and Jonathan, I'd like to say I hope we have a fun little match, nothing too crazy, Even if I win them, it could go either way, but if I win them, nothing crazy.
Mm.
And to everyone else, I proved y'all wrong. I got third place last time. Y'all thought I was gonna be like one of the worst players, but I proved you guys wrong.
Exactly, bro. Talk your stuff. Exactly. We love to hear it. Love to hear it. And with that, we'll end with the energy. You proved them wrong. Ain't not much to prove it. Maybe go back to back, get another third place.
Hmm.
All right, we like to hear it. Hopefully, we'll see it. And it's coming up soon. So hopefully, everything falls through and we can actually see these games happen. Well, Dante, I want to thank you for your time, for the energy, and, for coming on the stage and being out here. So we'll see you on the pitch. Thank you.
Bye bye.